the mind of God towards Nigeria, also known as the mind of GRIMAS towards Nigeria. Before I proceed, I, Professor Elvis the preacher, in a state of anatomism, the Shia Muslim leader Zagki, Boko Haram, Abubakar Shekau, Showore, presidential aspirants, Unadi, the leader of a group, the Brafa. Please, I would like to use the word the bigatonians to beg these leaders to take it easy, because the mind of God towards Nigeria is classified into two erogosimato. One, the nucleus and the liberatomicious, an additional retrogratomission, or what I call the retrogratomenity, which is multicultural, now become a football play. Everyone should stay on his wing to perfect his wing. Then you now use your wing as your calling to fulfill metaphysics section 1/1. Then you will see the Nigeria which you wish. What you want Nigeria to be, you begin to see. But we must obey this prophecy which is given to me by privilege when I was praying for the country of my father's land. And the proverbial statement, or what I call the prophecy, is Metaphysics section 1/1. COZANATE and MENATO to your president and your monarchy to see the SIFONISM of democracy and SPARKITOCRACY. And when you fulfill this in relating to your calling, you will begin to see the Alabadonism, Balidonism, Caledonism, and Delatification, and the Fakatomism. Everything will begin to be in a state of erogozy. So that is why I beg, and I also praying. I'm praying for the leader of Shia Muslim, for the good health. I'm praying for Showore to learn a good lesson that he might be able to overcome the prejudices of his program. I want to beg everybody to take it easy, and that God has a very good plan for Nigeria. Everything God has told me will be in a good order, but we must obey this prophecy to pray for the president and the monarchy to see the success of our democracy and SPARKITOCRACY. That is why I'm begging in a state of METAPHYSICS, so that we might be able to enjoy the next level with our president. PATO, GRIMAS, TOMAQUTO, TETE, CUMI. Use your calling to fulfill this metaphysics law, and everything will be in a state of magicious. Everything will be in a state of peregrinous. If you don't obey this law, you will end up meeting people like Professor Wole Soyinka, Femi Falana, which will begin to quote the law for you. Because at the end of the day, their activism will not be able to cartomize your needs. Because human needs, according to the economist or economy, is insatiable. But when you obey this principle, God will begin to use your intellectual sagacity to synchronize this society. And in your COZANATE, the president will begin to operate a pakratomens success in their governance, not the other way around. Because in my research, I'll be able to discover that what we give out most of the time in our activisms are what we learned in the school, which is as a result of what I call the exomic. But I have been able to do a research to begin to clintonize into exomic measure. In the exomic measure, you begin to see things from the resource, then from there you can be able to balance it with the almighty formula. If not, you end up in Phalacos and the Phalacas. The law student will tell you the exomical aspect of the law. That is, when you do anything, you will be charged in according to what you have done in the measure of section 1, 2, 3, etc. But the exomic part of the law, it is what they have failed to understand. And that is why I'm coming to you to give you the mind of God. The exomic, which they have failed to tell you, will take you to the resource. What caused that problem? You have to check the resource. When you can balance the resource, you will not discover that you can balance the exomica. For example, if somebody is sick, you have to check the spiritual side and know the genetics of that problem. If you can spiritualize that problem, you will discover that if he drinks ordinary water, he gets a remedy. For example, when somebody has a cancer, if you can balance the spiritual measure of that person, you will discover that when he takes any medical tablet, he just go. Even at that time, when he goes to places for prayer like synagogue, go to the mosque, go to the church, go to even a good trado, you will discover that he will get a remedy. You must balance the exomic measure, not going to criticize or insubordinate the government and, end up in a state of watomism. PATO, GRIMAS, TOMAQUTO, TETE, CUMI. I love you all. Everybody you see today has got the nucrimaceous sagas, but we need to use it to fulfill metaphysical law section 1/1, so that we may be able to enjoy the erogosios, kratomesios, perichronomius, libratomesios in our time. God bless you. Spark. Stay validonized. There is part 1, part 2 is coming on the way. Nigeria is a good country. Nigeria will begin to enjoy what I call a state of erogocy. Spark.